Hey babes, welcome back to Zodiac and Chill. I'm Erica Bell, your astro bestie. And if you're new, get cozy, pour yourself a glass of whatever, and tuck in, because we don't do surface level here. If you've been riding with me a while, you already know, no zodiac pairing is off limits. Okay, but today, we've got a pairing that's confusing at best, cosmic at worst. I'm talking Gemini and Pisces. And look, if you're already rolling your eyes, you're either a Gemini who got lost on the way or a Pisces trying to recover from the last misunderstanding. Seriously though, what happens when the zodiac's wildest mind meets the softest, dreamiest heart? It's giving, we get each other, but also, what is even happening? Like, you start off vibing on the same frequency, and then suddenly you're in totally different galaxies. And yet, somehow, you also feel like you're in the only duo who really gets it. I mean, isn't that the realest cosmic plot twist? Two worlds, one vibe, pure chaos. And if this sounds familiar, especially if you listen to the Scorpio and Cancer episode, you know sometimes when opposites attract, it's pure magic. And sometimes you just get ghosted on a Friday and poetry posted on Sunday. Trust me, Gemini and Pisces are both here for the feels, just in their own wild, sometimes untranslatable ways. So let's unpack how air and water signs even attempt to make it work, sometimes with mixed signals, and sometimes with a playlist of delusions on Spotify. Alright, babe, let's just get into it. Because if we're talking Pisces, you know it's time for a deep dive. And look, I'm a Pisces, so buckle up. I'm talking from intimate, sometimes embarrassing experience. Here's the thing, where Gemini is ruled by Mercury, think communication, ideas, mental ping pong. Pisces is over here living in Neptune's daydream, where every conversation is actually a whole novel, but like a sad French one. Gemini is logic, curiosity, loving the puzzle. Pisces, we're feeling all the lost subtext, holding on to that weird look you gave us at brunch, trying to decode it 3 weeks later. Gemini will flirt with you using words, memes, conspiracy theories about dogs driving cars. Pisces will flirt with you telepathically and then write you a poem about a dream they had where you were both sea otters. I'm not even kidding. It's a vibe clash, but it's also kind of a beautiful mess. Sometimes that mess becomes art. Sometimes it's just, you know, emotionally expensive therapy bills. But what draws them together? Honestly, they're both kind of fascinated by what the other lacks. Gemini can't help but poke the Pisces bubble of emotion, while Pisces is drawn to the Gemini who can dance circles around their feelings and somehow, almost, make it make sense. But where do things unravel? When communication styles clash. Gemini's let's talk it out, but maybe just for 5 minutes and then I'm over it, meets Pisces, I need to process and spiral, and then, after a week, I'll cry text you at 2 a.m. They're both searching for connection, but they're using different apps, if you know what I mean. And sometimes that connection is legit. The best conversations happen at like 1 a.m. when nobody understands you but each other. But real talk, it can get confusing real fast. Now listen, I gotta tell y'all, if you've been here before, you already know my motto. If it's not effort, it's noise. And nothing tests that rule like Gemini and Pisces. Okay, so I once dated this quick talking Gemini. You know, texting just to text, sending TikToks at 2 a.m., rapid fire ideas, zero follow through. But honestly, I was here for it. It was cute. For about a month. I was so busy decoding mixed messages that I forgot to check for actual effort. I mean, you can flirt in 3 languages, but if you still can't commit to Saturday night plans, baby, that's just static. And this isn't just a Pisces problem, by the way. Gemini and Pisces both live in these alternate realities. Gemini in anticipation, Pisces in nostalgia. The key to not losing yourself? Check what's real. Gemini, are you making time or just making conversation? Pisces, are you in love with the person or the version of them in your head? It goes both ways. How do you actually make it work? Boundaries and clarity. Mixed signals happen, but if you're honest, like, hey, I like you, but I need actual plans. Or, I care, but I need some space tonight. That is magic. You can absolutely build something strong with this air and water duo if you're both willing to check your projections at the door. But, and I say this with love, if you catch yourself guessing more than you're enjoying, that's your exit sign, babe. Y'all, I swear, this week the DMs were wild. Screenshots everywhere, spicy questions, and I see you sending those Gemini memes at your Pisces ex. Let's get into it. First, why do Gemini men flirt like they're in love, then disappear like they never met you? Oh, honey, the Gemini magic. For them, connection is real while it's happening. But when their curiosity floats off, so do they. It's not always shady, it's just Mercury in motion. The real test is, can you handle the tempo? If not, save your spirit, let it go. Next, how can a Pisces tell the difference between soul chemistry and emotional projection? Oof, classic Pisces dilemma. We're like in love with the poetry of possibility. Here's what's real. If you're feeling safe, seen, getting that lovely consistency, it's legit chemistry. If you're creating an entire relationship solo in your head and calling it fate, that's projection. Only one of those is texting you back, babe. Choose accordingly. Can Gemini and Pisces last, or is this always going to be chaos? Okay, I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, messy. But it doesn't always have to be. If Gemini's ready to ground those curiosities and Pisces tempers those tidal waves with honest words, yes, they can thrive. Both sides have to level up. Emotional honesty, maturity, not reading each other's minds, but using actual words. So simple, yet so rare. How do you get a Gemini to open up emotionally? Like, for real. 2 words, low pressure presence. Gemini doesn't want your emotional study guide, but if you make it safe and chill, they'll open up in their own snarky, sideways way. Ask, what's on your mind lately? Not, what are we? Trust me, you'll get more. Why does my Gemini say they care, but act like they don't need me? Because their love language is curiosity, not clean. If they remember that weird story you told on a random Tuesday, if they make you laugh when you're deep in your feels, that's Gemini caring. Not loud, but it's real. Why do Pisces always seem hurt when Gemini pulls away? Pisces doesn't just connect, they merge. When Gemini pops back for air, Pisces feels abandoned. But it's not rejection, it's just regulation. Sometimes the vibe really did just shift, and that's okay. What should you never say to a Pisces in an argument? Listen good. You're overreacting. Don't. Just don't. For Pisces, emotions are facts. You don't have to agree, but you better respect it. Otherwise, silent treatment or dramatic poetry is coming your way. You've been warned. Last, Can Pisces ever fully trust a Gemini? Yes, but Gemini has to be clear with intentions. Pisces has to call out their own insecurities. You both gotta talk, not just vibe. Transparency over telepathy, okay? If you want your drama decoded or your own story featured, send your cosmic tea to letters, zodiac, and chill podcast.com at mail.com. And yes, the Facebook group really is coming soon. Let me say this loud and clear for the overthinkers, the ghosters, the poets, and the romantics still spiraling on that last left on red moment. Whether you're a Gemini, a Pisces, or just cosmic curious, remember, vibes are fun, but effort is the tea. Don't settle for mixed signals or fantasy connections. If it's not real, let it go. And if it is, say it, show it, make it real. That's how you get cosmic drama with a side of actual happiness. Gemini and Pisces is not an easy love. It's a poetic one. One thinks out loud, the other feels in silence. One moves fast, the other moves deep. But when these two energies meet with intention, they don't just create attraction, they create emotional artistry. This isn't about similarity. It's about learning how to speak each other's emotional language without losing your own. Include honesty, so it doesn't feel fairy tale perfect. Gemini may struggle with emotional consistency. Pisces may struggle with emotional overgiving. So when these two connect, the lesson becomes, can curiosity meet sensitivity without overwhelming it? Can depth meet logic without drowning it? This makes the connection real and relatable. How Gemini loves Pisces. Protects their softness. Stimulates their imagination. Teases their sadness back into light. How Pisces loves Gemini. Softens their restlessness. Grounds their scattered thoughts. Turns noise into vulnerability. This shows mutual emotional exchange instead of imbalance. The real tension between Pisces and Gemini isn't lack of love, it's miscommunication. Gemini speaks to understand. Pisces feels to connect. When one talks through pain and the other absorbs it, the key becomes patience, not pressure. Sometimes Gemini disappears to think. Sometimes Pisces disappears to heal. The magic happens when both choose to return. For me, Gemini and Pisces represents emotional contrast that teaches growth. It reminds me that love isn't about matching energy. It's about learning how to hold space for differences without trying to change them. That's where the real connection lives. So that's it for today's cosmic mess, babe. But get ready for tomorrow, because we're going to dive into two signs who love loud and love long. But trust me, do it in totally opposite ways. Up next on Zodiac and Chill, where the stars meet the rhythm, a duet born from cosmic chemistry. She's a Pisces, deep, intuitive, ocean-hearted. He's a Gemini, quick, curious, airbound. Together, they clash, they connect, and they create magic on the dance floor. This is more than a love song. This is a zodiac story set to reggaeton. This is air and water. Let the vibes pull you in the rush and the rhythm, the logic and the intuition, the air and the water. It's about two energies learning how to move together without losing themselves. Have you ever loved someone who felt like your emotional opposite, but somehow fit perfectly? Are you the thinker who fell for the feeler, or the dreamer who softened the speaker? What does us two mean in your world? Until then, keep your heart soft, your boundaries high, and your DMs just a little bit chaotic. That's the tea, babe. This is air and water.
Gemini and Pisces. We feel it. You move like dreams I never knew. You're deep and soft, I rush right through. You catch my fall, I chase the stars. Still we meet where the heart is ours.
You speak in rhythm, I feel in waves. You rush like wind through brighter days. But in your arms I see the light. You hold me close and it feels so right.
Different sides, still we align. Heartbeats dancing in the rhyme. You bring the fire, I bring the tide. Together we collide.
Air and water, light and flame. We're so different but feel the same. Spin me slow, hold me tight. We're the night that burns so bright.
Air and water, light and flame. We're so different but feel the same. Spin me slow, hold me tight. We're the night that burns so bright. You calm the chaos in my soul. I lose control, but you make me whole. Never guessed we'd feel this way, but baby, I want you to stay.
You're the wild that I adore, and I'm the calm that you explore. We clash, we fly, we turn, we spin, but love always pulls us in.
Air and water, light and flame. We're so different but feel the same. Spin me slow, hold me tight. We're the night that burns so bright.
Pisces and Gemini. We rise, we ride, we never ask why.